George Orwell suggested that if we were offered the choice of freedom or happiness, most people would choose happiness. But why? What is so daunting about freedom? Are freedom and happiness not mutually exclusive? And is it correct to associate happiness with control? Or perhaps, more controversially, is happiness just a product of our desire to conform? Let me start by asking you a few questions. Raise your hand if you rolled over this morning searching for your smartphone to switch off your alarm. Most of you. Or if you had a quick scroll through one of your multiple social media accounts to check up on what your friends got up to last night and perhaps what you missed out on. Again, most of you. Further emphasizing this point, since the time that I've been speaking to you, at least 15 people in the room have glanced down at their cell phone to acknowledge some form of social media notification or aimlessly scrolled through Instagram. According to the Global Statistical Forum, we spend an average of 225 minutes on social media daily. From the moment we open our eyes to the moment we close them, we are not only allowing social media into our lives, but we are allowing it to shift our focus from the life that is currently happening to that which exists through a screen. As a result, we are losing our ability, or giving it up, actually, to make our own decisions without the influence of social media. As human beings, we work so hard to execute an element of control over our lives and over the decisions that we make on a daily basis. But why? When we wake up in the morning, we decide what clothes to put on, what to eat for breakfast, and ultimately, what mood to be in. But we ask ourselves the question, are these clothes suitable for the meeting that I have today? Will someone compliment me on my makeup? And is what I'm putting into my body healthy? As individuals running the societal race, we are constantly seeking external affirmation in order to feel confident in our ability to act and interact with other people. But has it ever occurred to you that the people you are interacting with feel this way too? Is it our constant desire to achieve a self-determined standard of success, or to conform to the constraints of societal bounds? I can stand up here today and say that I'm happy with my iPhone, because everyone is happy with their iPhone, and not because I've actually undertaken a logical study to determine that this is the appropriate smartphone for me. I'm sure many of you have even purchased the new iPhone 2000 for its state-of-the-art camera that can make even my bulldogs look beautiful. How many hours have you sat thinking about which image is best to post on Instagram, or even asked your friends for their opinion for a witty caption to make yourself appear more appealing online? So much of what we feel about ourselves and others is controlled by the way other people view us and other people's opinions of ourselves. Are we really free to be who we are or who we want to be? Conformity trumps freedom every single time. In the marketing world with which we are all so familiar, advertising aims at either confirming what we think about ourselves or what we would like other people to think about us. Either way, the object is to make you feel that with a certain product comes happiness. As freedom is such an evocative concept, many adverts equate freedom with happiness. Almost every advert is an attempt to control you or compel you to reassess your life. I would like to show you a mainstay advert that is an example of this.
Welcome to the Republic of Sunshine, a state dedicated to the pursuit of awesomeness. In the Republic, we enjoy only 2 seasons of incredible and out of this world. Here, every single body is one color, bronze. This is our capital city, a little place we call
The ultimate message of this advert is that you can stay as you are for the rest of your life, or you can change. The message is that you have the freedom to change, and if you do, or rather, when you do, you will find happiness. It suggests that you are in control, free to change or not to change. That is the question. It is my observation that regardless of how much freedom we have to change, most people respond to almost everything by listening to their inner voice that desires to conform, to be accepted, but not for us, the slings and arrows of outrageous individuality. If that is the case, then how much control do we really have? Are we, as Sigmund Freud argued, slaves to our environment? Are we chained to trends rather than to setting them? Or do we make our own reality? Or is it formed for us? How can we allow inferior opinions to dictate the choices that we make and ultimately dictate the course of our lives? It is again my opinion that the idea of control is perhaps, and always has been, simply an illusion, that life has the uncanny ability to present itself in a manner which to the naked eye appears to be a choice, when in fact it is simply a decoy to encourage the individual to make a particular decision. The decoy fools the duck and not the hunter. Think about this. If I had a lotto ticket and was given the choice to select the numbers on my lotto ticket, these numbers didn't win, I would blame myself. Yet, if the lotto predetermined these numbers for me and I still lost, I would blame the lotto. But these numbers, regardless of who chooses them, are just a series of numbers in a random draw to win a large sum of money. In this sense, the lotto too is an illusion, to decoy a participant into thinking that they have some element of control over the end result. We are all acutely and perhaps painfully aware of the power of social media. It is currently the ultimate manifestation of freedom of expression, marginally controlled by a group ethos of what is appropriate and what is not. It produces good and bad, a tree, an electronic tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It brings not only happiness, but freedom from oppression, as so clearly shown during the Arab Spring. But uncontrolled access to social media can produce hurt and distress through its verbal sticks and stones, and can waste time like nothing before, and stunt healthy social interaction. We are constantly comparing ourselves to other people. Barry Schwartz suggested that choice has not made us freer, but more paralyzed, and not happier, but more dissatisfied. It suggests that you are in control, free to change or not to change. Choice. Is this the only freedom that we have? That paragon of analysis paralysis. Hamlet found choice and the questions it posed inhibiting, and ultimately led to his demise. So perhaps Schwartz is right. In the Garden of Eden, man was given a choice. You can eat from the tree of knowledge, but don't. Whatever you do, eat from the tree that gives you the power to know the difference between right or wrong. We all know what happened, and chaos reigned. It is my opinion that the only way to maximize freedom is to maximize choice. The answer is stay in control. But my question for you is, do you really want to be? You see, you have a choice. You have the choice between the power to control and falling prey to the desire to conform. Breaking the shackles of societal norms is not easy. Yes, it is a challenge, but it is a challenge that I try to set myself every day. The choice is not between freedom and happiness. Happiness surely suggests that it is a result of the choices that we make. The only freedom is choice. How we exercise it decisively determines our level of happiness. Thank you.